Hello YouTube, what's going on? It's SciGuy29 coming at you here. Just wanted to make a video, a memory, more or less, to put down into video form as Eric, those back pages would say, to document. Today is a date that I'll remember forever for many reasons. First off, right here, Twins World Series history on this date. Game 6, 1991 World Series. And man, what a game. For those of you that don't know, most people know it as the Kirby Puckett home run game. But to me, it was much more. Not just because I was a Twins fan and a huge Kirby Puckett fan. We'll get to that in a minute. Still have the beer light on. Been doing some other filming. But the channel, SciGuy29. The 29 is for Dan Quisenberry. Dan was my cousin. On October 26th, 1991, we were in Grand Island, Nebraska, and we were there for my grandparents', I think it was 50th wedding anniversary, the next day. So Friday night, or Saturday night, Dan and his mom, stepdad, were in town with his family, and we were watching Game 6 of the 1991 World Series between the Braves and the Twins at my grandparents' house. And for those of you who don't remember the scene, I'd love to be able to take the time and splice it all in and show the picture. And there's 55,000 plus at the Metrodome, going crazy. And if you've never been to the Metrodome, well, obviously you can't go now, but it was just deafening when there was a big crowd in there. It was insane. So I can't imagine what it was like during that time. But this day was much more than just Kirby Puckett's magical home run. Look it up if you haven't seen it. Okay, Game 6 was epic. 4-3 Twins lead, a win, 11 innings. And one of the craziest things about this is the whole, both lineups that played that day, one Hall of Famer, Kirby Puckett. It was it. It was the only Hall of Famer at this point in time. And suffice to say, probably only ever going to be the one. Okay? Braves roster: Lonnie Smith, Terry Pendleton, Ron Gant, David Justice, Sid Bream, Keith Mitchell, Brian Hunter, Greg Olson, Mark Lemke, Rafael Belliard, Tommy Gregg, Jeff Blaser. Now, if you grew up when I did, in the mid-'80s through the mid-'90s, okay? At this time, I was in college. I was a senior in college. I should say, I was in my last year of college this year. And it was crazy because you always had all the Braves games on TBS, so you got to see them. And it was magical to see those guys that you watch all the time. I was a Twins fan. I lived 4 hours from the Twin Cities at best. And I maybe saw them play twice all year before the playoffs, maybe 3 times, tops, because nobody cared in my area. Everything was the Cubs. The Cubs were the only thing that were on. So as we did it, so we're there at my grandparents', and we're having an adult beverage or two, and Dan Quisenberry is there, my cousin, because it'd be his aunt, was my grandma, and celebrating their 50th wedding anniversary. So we're watching the game, and we go through. And so I read you the Braves lineup. The Twins: Dan Gladden batted leadoff, Chuck Knobloch at second, Kirby Puckett, there's your one Hall of Famer, Chili Davis, Shane Mack, Scott Leas, Mike Pagliarulo, Ken Herbeck, Junior Ortiz, Brian Harper, Greg Gagne. The Twins pitchers were Scott Erickson, Mark Guthrie, Carl Willis, and Rick Aguilera. Aguilera, maybe you could make a case for maybe being in the Hall of Fame someday, maybe not, probably not. But epic battle. Now the last pitcher for the Braves, Charlie Leibrandt. For those of you who know the baseball, he was a former Royal, was a teammate of Dan's with the Royals for a few years. They were friends. They were actually roommates on the road for a while. So it got crazy. We got to that 11th inning, and Leibrandt came in, left-hander, and it was just amazing that day, that night, I guess. listening to Dan talk about these players because he knew he'd faced most of the Twins lineup during his career. He had only recently retired. He'd only been out about a year, a little over a year at this time. And so it was just amazing to listen to him talk because he was with the Cardinals when he ended, so he'd faced a lot of the guys in the Braves lineup as well. And I remember him talking about Ron Gant and how he always tried to stay away and Dan's ball always moved. And Charlie Liebrandt came in. And as soon as Charlie threw the ball to Puckett and that ball hit the bat, Dan said, uh-oh. And I'll never forget, he just had this look on his face like, man. And he said, this could be career ending. And that hit me right there that, holy crap, this is real. This is somebody's livelihood. And this is an event that could end his career just because of the magnitude of what it was. Now, I got to be honest. I should have, but I didn't beforehand. Look up, did Charlie Liebrandt play again? And I got to be honest, I don't know. I might do it real quick while I'm talking. There it is. Let's find out here. And to hear, Dan's like, I'm going to have to get a hold of him. So, not that night, but he did go, and I know before Sunday, before I talked to him at my grandparents' anniversary party, he had talked to Charlie, and said obviously he's crushed by it. Game 7. I'm not going to spoil that. For those of you that don't know what happens in Game 7, go look it up. Okay, because as epic as Game 6 was, Game 7 was just as epic. Now this is also the same World Series with the whole Ron Gant, Kent Herbeck fiasco at first base. Crazy. It was an insane World Series from Game 1 all the way through 7. So let's see. His career was traded to the Rangers in '92, along with Pat Gomez for utility player Jose Oliva. His last season pitching was '93, so he did pitch for a couple more years, but truly was never the same after that home run. So if you have memories of that series, Twins fan, Braves fan, whatever the case might be, I'd love to hear about it. Leave them in the comments below. And until next time, remember, I haven't shown my Puckett cards. These are real quick. I'll make this quick. Here's a Topps All-Star Kirby Puckett. Okay. This is the Denny's Grand Slam card. Okay, kind of the holograph on the front. This is a Topps Black Gold, I believe 93? 92 or 93, somewhere in there. I love the picture of Kirby on the back because that to me is Kirby. I like those guys with big smiles. This is a Fleer Emotion. Okay, got the serious look of him there. This is a recent jersey card I picked up. Got the stripe running through it, the white jersey with the stripe running through it. And then this was the American League. I don't even know what the hell this thing is called. 86 leaf pop-up or whatever. You can see the dome in the background there. So till next time, remember, collect what you love what you collect. Bye, guys.